Guys, we just got out of Oppenheimer. As you could tell by our green cosplay that we all went in.
I don't know how we did this. Oh, I forgot. I'm wearing a Manhattan Project Brewing Company cap. I forgot to mention that. Dang it.
Okay. Well, it's in the bonus stuff. So
there you go.
If you just listen to our
bonus trivia about the show,
if you just watched our Oppenheimer review, you just got some free trivia from Thomas. So you notice we're not wearing pink for that other giant movie that came out, but we did have one intrepid reporter go for us.
We had someone undercover.
Michael took the bullet for the team, and he went and he saw Barbie.
That Barbie-coated bullet.
Michael, I know you went with Johnny. Was at least Ari there?
Ari was there. Yes.
Okay. So it wasn't just
two.
Guys.
There were two dudes sitting. No stuff thrown to them, but there were two sitting together over a couple down. Ordered more food than any person I think I've ever seen at Alamo ever. It was probably 7 different returns of plates that the guy brought. And like there was an empty seat next to me, and then this lady came and sat there. And it was probably 10 minutes after she got there. I guess she'd ordered something. But the guy came up, he's like, "Did you order this?" And she's like, "Oh no, that's not my order." And they're like, "Oh no, that's for us too." Everyone's just like, "Really?" And like they weren't big guys at all. They were just
they got the 7 courses.
They had some feast going for Barbie, but yeah.
I would do that.
The Alamo 7 fishes.
I never feel like there's enough time for that because
they made time.
Take a little while. Yeah.
I was really debating doing the Barbie Oppenheimer one-day viewing, but then I realized that I have to be one guy buying a ticket to Barbie. So.
you had to make that percentage up. Yeah, I did 11:30 a.m. was Oppenheimer with my dad. It was great, awesome time, great movie. Then I went to Barbie, which I didn't expect to be a bullet. I did take the bullet. It was a bullet. Went at 7:30 at Alamo. I didn't realize prior to. So my friend Johnny was like, "You gotta dress up. You gotta wear something because Ari's going all out. She dressed up like crazy." I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever. I'll order a pink shirt." Got a pink shirt and went in. Didn't realize it was an actual official costume competition at Alamo. So there's people that went. Lights on their head, wings stuff, skates everywhere. There were people that went all. There wasn't probably a non-pink shirt in that theater room. It was ridiculous. But then they only ended up picking like 5 people to go up there and do the actual competition. So it was a little disappointing for some people.
Was one of them Ari?
No, she did not because she couldn't.
Oh, sad.
She couldn't walk. She could have.
Yeah, we saw that.
She couldn't walk in her shoes. They were like.
She was taller than me, and I was like, "What's going on?" I was confused.
Oh, so the people we saw were Johnny and Ari, by the way, that left the Alamo and came to the IMAX just to be in the Barbie booth.
Is that why they were there?
That's why they went there? Oh my god!
And I don't know how Ari got all the way into the IMAX theater from the parking lot, because watching her walk out, me and Jared were like, "Do you want us to carry you? Because we really feel bad for you right now."
I know Michael and Johnny should have carried her up to the stage.
That's what we were. Well, they were walking through the parking lot, and you could just see how much she's struggling to walk. I mean, the heels were no joke. They were huge.
They were like
literally, like probably a little bit taller than I am. And she was like
looking me in the eye. She was like looking me in the eyes, like, "I've never seen you at this height before."
Is weird. And so we get in the lobby, and I was like, "Ari, did you consider the stairs in the actual theater?" And her face just kind of went, "Oh God, what have I done?" So yeah, that was an interesting experience. And then going into the actual movie, I didn't expect the culmination. So it's Greta Gerwig. I love Lady Bird. I love Little Women. Great movies. Very, very impressive movies in my opinion. Well acted, well directed. I didn't expect this movie to remind me so much of Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat. Like, it is on that level of stupid. The jokes are ridiculous.
So you're saying it's good?
No, like if you want to consider it in that sense of
joking, good movie.
Like it's okay. Let me
my brain broke there.
These are 3 movies that this movie is fused into. Cat in the Hat is one of them because it's ridiculous. Everything is, which I think like the set design of Cat in the Hat is very well done. It's very it's Cat in the Hat just brought to life, which is this is Barbie brought to life. They have the whole set and all the weird toys and everything. And then there's Elf. So, they have the humans and the normal people. Bring that storyline into it. And then you get the stupidity of, we won't even say Anchorman. We'll say Anchorman 2 levels of stupidity in this movie. Like, the very, very few jokes landed for me. And this movie's not for me. That's just the simple way to put it. I was hoping
with a little bit of third wave feminism, just like right there.
It was like surface, and I don't mean to be offensive because like there are aspects of it that I'm like, yeah, I can absolutely see how that, like, certain points of how they bring this, like, yes, that's an important aspect to it. But they lather on so much. They make men seem like every single man is the devil, and
That's what I heard.
they have the whole storyline of like it's baffling. Well, also the fact of how they're making this whole thing, like they're kind of saying the whole time, women are all of this. They try and like center it around Barbie as the poster thing, and I'm like, you guys are like worshiping a man, it's even in the movie, like the CEOs and everything, like, oh, we just want money. I'm like, that's what you're doing. This isn't supposed to be a symbol for women. It's a product that you're buying as a child to play with, and it's very interesting. And then
apparently Barbie's a fascist, according to that like 12-year-old girl.
Yeah,
so.
and the weird thing is, like, they do the contradiction of, like, they come to, I think it's Emperor's New York. And it's actually pretty funny. Ryan Gosling he goes around, he's like kind of realizing that men rule the world in this scenario and everything. Because like, he's like, oh, you're not the boss. Let me talk to the boss. Like, no, I'm the boss. He's like, you're the boss in this world. And so he goes back and like infects Barbie land to where they're all, it's Ken land by the 3/4 of the movie. And then they just like, how they act like men is how they treat Ken when Ken is the woman of their world. Like he is in the, downtrodden, saddened, but they never like come back around on it. They never be like, oh, like Barbie has a moment where she's like, oh, I realized that you were trying, we can have, not every night needs to be girls' night is one of the lines, but it's like, I'm like, you realize you're portraying women in this pathetic, useless, dumb state as Ryan Gosling's character is the whole movie. Like, it goes both ways. Like, it's very, very confusing. There are a few points where I'm like they have like the woman from Cheers actually plays the creator of Barbie, and she kind of has a moment with Barbie later on. And they say a few things. She's like, it was never about like the Barbie thing, whatever. Like, they have a few moments in the movie where I'm like, okay, I see where that is, and I think that's an important message to powerfully. But there's just so much just slap in the face, surface level, just preachiness to this. I was pretty like, I saw a tweet. Someone was making fun of a Ben Shapiro tweet that he went and saw the movie, and he was coming. Like, they made me watch this. I forget how he worded it, and I was like, oh, he's a bit extreme with his. I don't know why he does movie reviews, but he does them. He's a bit extreme with them, and I was like, okay, so it's not gonna be that bad. And I was astounded to find that it was pretty much that much. Like, I was like, wow, this was. It was. I don't know. It was interesting because it's not a movie for kids. It's not.
Yeah, that's what I kept hearing is that. So like people were saying like, oh no, it's a movie for people who love and hate Barbie, and it's a movie for kids and adults. It's supposed to be like, that. And I'm like, and then I'm hearing the jokes that they're making. I'm like, that's not a kid's movie. That's not even like subtle. It's just like, bruh.
Yeah, like literally probably 3 minutes into the movie. So it was a pretty funny theater because it is. Ours wasn't the 75% women. It was probably 95% women, and I think there were 3 men in the audience, four men in the audience that I could count. But they like every time there's this kind of like, oh, I got to get to that in a second too. We'll leave that for a second. So the joke was like 3 minutes of the movie, they keep talking about how they're going to beach each other off.
Oh yeah,
beach.
I saw that commercial.
and like that was initially because that's what I asked Johnny. We sat down. I was like, how much of the movie do you think is going to be for kids? And he was like, oh, you don't think it's going to be for kids? I'm like, no. Like I was thinking maybe 5% will be for children, and it was 0% of this movie is for children. And so like I was talking about the theater experience and having all it being majority of women and like I said, I don't want to say in the sense of like, because like I feel like there is a nugget of truth to the nugget. That sounds almost insulting. I don't mean it that way. there is a truth behind all of like the feminism things they talk about in the movie. It's just to the 11th degree of extremities of every man is evil is what it seems like. Like it's never like anything's. I don't know. There's no room for.
Hard to talk about this stuff.
I don't even know. It's weird. Yeah, I'm trying to be respectful because I do want to be respectful because there are points in this movie. I'm like, yes, this is actually very, like I said, very important. But it was an amusing interaction whenever there's the mom of the movie has this very empowering speech and she's like, women. And I totally get like all the things like, we need to do this, whatever. But like, there's this row behind me of these women that were loud the whole, like just cheering, screaming and everything. And it was like, yes, oh yeah. Like they were just all about, I was like, this is great. So that made it very funny. But the characters of the movie just baffled me. Like all of the, like, you have the Barbie characters, they're dumb toys. They don't know anything about the real world. Then you go to the real world and there's the company of that Mattel that runs Barbie and everything. And Will Ferrell is the CEO. So if that doesn't point you in the direction of Anchorman, I don't know what will. Very, 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 very dumb jokes the whole time. And they have this chase scene. Oh my God, this chase scene, which I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But so the only rational human being in this entire movie is the mother's daughter of who Barbie's going to see. Because the mother is like an immature child who's like, I don't even know how to, like, I was watching the movie. I was like, why is the only level-headed person I've seen through this entire movie the little girl rather than all of the adults through the whole thing? I don't know. It was disappointing. I was expecting something more clever and funny and entertaining and a little more insightful rather than just preachy blanket statements, which have truth to them, 100%. But it's just like so much of just, I don't know, and the backwardsness of, like I said, with Ken's character and like how. Like,
subjugating the Kins all over again.
I don't know. It was weird. It was. I don't know how to think about it. Alex had I wish we should have gotten, or I should have told him to get in here, but he sees some deep meaning that he wants to go watch it again. So I'm curious what his second viewing will be. But
I mean, you can empower women without hating men. That's
I almost wish we had seen it so we could have the discussion of all the points. And I wish I want to rewatch it. No, I don't want to rewatch it again. But if I rewatch it again, I would want to like initially talk about it while it's all fresh in my mind and of understanding of where everything hit. But it just felt so blinding. I don't know. It was interesting, but it's also like I said, it's not for me. For women who like. If you just take the parts about it, encouraging women and everything, I'm like, yes, that was great. I appreciate all that. But then all the other stuff, like we said, it's just weird and so. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for where it's like blanket statement, almost extreme, but like blank, like without any exceptions or anything like that. Like we'd said. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with it. It was an interesting movie, interesting experience.
Yeah. So what I've heard is that. Even though, like you're saying, the stories about kind of like women empowerment and stuff like that, from what I've heard, Ken's actually the best character in the.
That's probably true. He has the most like change to him, but it's God, the movie's stupid though.
What is the reception to this? Like, what are
people love it?
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Of course,
in a minute.
People love it, but man, it's just like take apart all of the like messages of the movie. The movie's so stupid. So stupid. Like it's just awful slapstick jokes, weird. It's trying so hard to be weird. And I'm like, this is just Jesus Louises. Although there is a funny battle scene on the beach with all of the Kens. That was pretty amusing to watch, but
disappointing because I thought this movie was gonna be like Clueless. If you remember that, like funny, making fun of kind of Valley Girls and stuff like that. So disappointing to hear it kind of went down the road it did. But we gotta talk about this box office. So let me share my screen. So check this out, guys. Barbie was huge, 155 million this weekend. Oppenheimer wasn't too shabby either, 80 million. And that's for a rated R biopic. So that's how huge that movie is.
I think I saw that it was his third best performing movie on the first weekend, which that's comparing him to Batman. Like that's pretty impressive.
And you have to think about Barbie's promotional stuff though. They probably spent more than that on the promotional.
Well, these two movies are like the birth of the meme movies because people were just going for the memes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And like Michael is saying, people are dressing up for Barbie. It's just about the experience. I don't know if anyone like is gonna be actually like, I like that movie, but they're all gonna love that experience that they went for that movie. So like this is the birth of the meme movie. I think this and Morbius is. I don't know if you guys remember. Morbius got like a second running just because of the memes.
I never forget Morbius.
But look at Sound of
Freedom made. Wow,
that movie is just on fire everywhere.
Mission Impossible. So Mission Impossible, we got to talk about. We all liked it.
What?
It has Mission. It has. Oh yeah, I forgot you didn't like it. It has really underperformed. Even though you didn't like it, Michael, this was like your most anticipated movie of the year,
true.
right? So you were there for day one. What? Any idea why Mission Impossible hasn't done well in the movie?
I don't feel like there was any promotion for it really. Like I kept forgetting the movie was coming up this summer. It was my most anticipated movie, but like I only ever saw the few trailers. There weren't that much spread around. I feel like definitely the Barbenheimer is the only reason that both those movies are at the level they're at. Like, both of them played so well off each other, being this serious movie and being this ridiculous pink phenomenon that they made it that high. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mission Impossible. I don't know.
Do you think Oppenheimer is going to have a bit more staying power in the box office than Barbie? Because
100%.
After this weekend, I don't think anybody's going to go see Barbie.
No,
I don't know.
I think Oppenheimer will definitely take over after a while, but
really,
movies are only in the theater for like a month now, which I think is kind of weird. But
do you think a large portion of ticket sales was under kind of like misinformation that it was a kids movie?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of regret.
There weren't a lot of kids in my theater, but yeah, I see that.
I don't know if it's going to drop off right away, though. I'd be surprised.
I'm astounded at Sound of Freedom. That is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like,
that
movie was only made for like less than 10 million, something like that.
Yeah, super cheap. And they didn't have a marketing budget at all.
Mm-mm.
So this is
all it's just purely word of mouth.
That's insane.
And in Oppenheimer, you got to consider that a lot of those tickets are IMAX tickets, so people were spending a lot of money on it. Maybe a lot of people just were like, we can see Mission Impossible when it streams, but we got to go see Oppenheimer in IMAX. Maybe
that's true.
So maybe that was one of the reasons Mission Impossible, because it has good word of mouth. A lot of people like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as great as some people say, but it was a fun movie to go watch. So it's kind of, if it's a mystery on our hands.
Talking to Alex today, he was really down on it. So.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't like it either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was with me.
Interesting. But even considering that you guys saw it right away.
Yeah,
so
we're day one or day something. Day 2.
Yeah. First weekend. All right. Okay. So that was the box office. So you guys want to get into some of the stuff you watched this week, if anything? Thomas?
I watched Air.
Oh, you saw Air?
Mm-hmm. That was very good. I was very surprised at how good that movie was. And it was kind of cool that, has anybody else seen Air?
I've seen Air.
Okay. I did like how they portrayed Jordan. That's all I'm going to say. Michael.
Yeah.
But it was a very, hi Michael. It was very interesting. It was a very cool subject, and I felt like I learned a lot in that movie. And I also rewatched Interstellar because of Oppenheimer. And yeah, I love that movie so much. Like I just, ooh, wow.
Yeah, I like the Air, even though I'm like I'm not a Nike fan at all.
Me neither. I don't like their shoes. Like I've had Nike shoes, and I'm like, I just don't like these.
They don't last. They're not comfortable.
They're none of those, but they're stylish.
It's all marketing.
They are. Yeah, it's all about the style. Yeah.
I used to endorse them. I used to wear their product back in the day.
I don't like their company either.
That's true.
Not very ethical. That's more after that stuff happened, though.
So I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes stuff here. So Barbie's at 90%. Oppenheimer's at 94. And so for Barbie, it's 2,000 verified viewers, like not critics. And then Oppenheimer, it's 1,000 viewers. So do you know what Sound of Freedom's at?
Got to be like 98 or something, right?
99% with 10,000 verified viewers.
10,000.
10,000.
Dang.
Like, I gotta see this movie now. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I need to see it. I just don't know when I'm gonna go. I don't even know if it's still at my theater.
I don't know.
Still at ours. I need to go see it. I really do. 10,000 people on Rotten Tomatoes. That is an insane amount.
Jared, watch anything? Do anything?
I watched the most recent Evil Dead. It's not as good as the last recent one. This time it was in an apartment and it follows this lady and her 3 kids, and it just didn't give me
it didn't look
the
very
Evil
good.
Dead feel. I needed it in a cabin. I needed it was bloody, but I feel like they didn't push it too much because there was kids in it, like young kids, instead of just like teenagers. So I felt like they kind of pulled punches. There is it's kind of cool. None of you guys are gonna watch it, so I don't care about spoiling.
It's in my watch list.
I have it queued up for later tonight, man.
You're a liar.
Liar.
But yeah, it was too modern for me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't look very good.
It wasn't that good. It wasn't bad. It was just very.
Did anyone get the trailer for
The Exorcist?
The Exorcist?
Yeah,
It looks like a bit much.
Bad.
It's gonna be terrible. They're not gonna have kids saying like the crap that they were saying in the 70s one, and it's like too bright. It's terrible. It looks like it's gonna be terrible.
Well, like for the movie, like for the trailer, it had the theme. I was just like, why is the Exorcist theme playing?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? And then it's like this is like movie number 4, right?
And it sounded like
around there.
it sounded like someone was playing it cheeky because they're like
Yeah.
That's definitely a movie of its time. You gotta keep that in the 70s.
Yeah.
Have you seen
what is it? Does anyone know what it's rated?
I don't.
No. If it's PG-13, it's gonna be trash.
Well, it has to be. Like, it's rare for horror movies to be R these days, so because they want to appeal to everyone, but then you take all the grit out of it. And then,
yeah, but say that doesn't appeal to your audience, your actual audience.
Speaking of horror movies, Michael, I did finally watch Terrifier 2.
Is that the clown one?
Yes, it is the sequel to the clown one.
It is the clown one. So
it's better than the first one.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say. It was a bit too long though. It was a bit too long. It was
88 minutes.
It was like 2.5 hours. It did not need to be that long.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
For Terrifier 2.
Mm-hmm. I saw how cheeky you were, Thomas. 80 minutes. No, it was long.
It's way too long for that movie.
120 minutes.
There was some goofy crap in there, but there was some good stuff in there too. But it wasn't bad, wasn't good. Just like Evil Dead. And then the only thing else is started Gundam Zeta because I wanted to. I'll probably talk about this in the anime podcast, but that's fresh in my mind, so I want to talk about it now. I started Zeta because I want to go through all the Universal Century timeline Gundam. And I saw the original with Joseph, saw like Char's counterattack, stuff like that. OS team. But I never saw Zeta, Double Zeta,
I took
Unicorn.
you to Char's counterattack in theaters.
Yeah. That was cool seeing it in theaters.
It was cool.
But yeah, starting Zeta is kind of cool because I like it's starting like a Gundam, like you get introduced to the kid, and this kid, my god. he is like Amuro times 10. It's like
What?
It's
How
like
is that
Amuro.
possible?
It's bad, just
It's like Amuro went Super Saiyan because he is so annoying.
Maybe he merged with Shinji.
He's so annoying, but Thomas did kind of help. He is funny. Like half of the stuff he says, people just like they don't take him seriously, and so it's kind of funny.
I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite parts. I was like, Camille, that's a girl's name. I'll kill you.
Then he
And
decks him.
And literally tries to kill him.
He decks him in the face, and he's like, Camille could be a strong band names too. And I was like, no, he can't.
And then he gets his ass kicked by like all the other guys, which I thought was hilarious. But
And then as soon as Bright shows up, he slaps someone. I was like, geez, he's not holding back this season.
he knew what to do. He knew what kind of problem he had on his hands. He's like, I've dealt with this before.
That's his style, man.
He has experience now, so he knows but immediately a girl denies him because he was kind of
no.
He's like, hey, Ensign Emma or whatever, and she's like, whatever, Commander Bright, whatever rank he is.
Slapping kids and getting denied.
That man deserves so much more than what he gets. Like, oh my god.
Oh, but Joseph, you would love this series. Is so 70s. Like, I feel like Chicago should be playing in the background. But you would love Char in this anime.
Quattro Bagina.
He changes
That's
his name
the
again.
name.
He changes his name again in this series, but he's disguised. He's got long hair, beautiful. He's got sunglasses, like pilot glasses. He's got this jacket vesting that's awesome. He's like, because you always like Proto Man growing up more than like Base and Zero.
Yeah,
this is like if Proto Man had his own anime. Because he's very much the Racer X archetype. But the whole time, the only bad thing, the whole time he's like, oh, he reminds me of Amuro Ray. And then he just like goes into deep thought about Amuro. And then he's like,
Amuro, who's that?
Camille was having issues because he is going through stuff. But he's like, let me tell you a little story about Char. Do you know Char? And he's like, Char's a great man. Said it like Luke Skywalker. Char's a great man. He's like, I see you know your stuff. Obviously, like winking at the kid. Like, but this is so fun, like, because you get so much cheese because it's from the 70s, and then you get the good political stuff and the great mech stuff. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'm like 6 episodes in.
Do you like the Black Gundam?
I don't.
Really?
Well, until they paint it. I hate the Titan.
Yeah.
Color scheme.
Titans are weird, man. Those guys are odd.
They're a weird crew.
Yeah.
There's a Lieutenant Jared, but he spells his name weird.
Wrong.
Yeah.
It's like
Jared.
Yeah.
He's glorious. He's got a mane. and he's got a green Zaku that's pretty cool.
Dude, the Zakus, they're not Zakus. Those are cool.
Yeah. Anytime there's like a Cyclops mech, they're cool in Gundam. But I like it. And then I just watched the episode where Amuro's finally introduced. And he's just in his mansion now.
Dude, what's it? What do you call it? Hayato. Like he actually like married Frau Bro, which I think is hilarious. And like the kids, I swear to God, you just want to be here because you want to be rich. It's like, duh.
And then you don't have the stupid gun tanks and like all the the crap mechs.
All those
Um,
freaking GMs. Oh
but
my
I bet
god.
I have a feeling you'd like it too, Joseph.
It's definitely a
Probably.
product of its time, but I love Zeta. Zeta's a hoot. Like it is kind of dark. It gets darker, but
Starts off pretty dark. They like
well, yeah. But also the animation's a lot better. And it's not amazing, but it's
Yeah.
it's way better than the 70s one or the original. Because the original definitely is dated.
So real quick, the thing I don't like about the Black Gundams is like the calf or like the legs are like thicker.
Yeah, the legs are okay. Like I think it's a perspective issue because they're
Mhm.
always like looking up at them, and the feet, like the shin and the
they have
feet
like
are
cankles.
huge.
They have
Yeah.
cankles.
Cankles.
Yeah, they're huge, and it's weird.
But I'm excited to see where it goes. So
Yeah, has he got the Zeta Gundam yet? Like the updated
No.
one? Okay.
they're talking about it. They don't-
They're
Okay.
talking about upgrading.
Yeah, I got War in the Pocket if you want to borrow it. So
Okay.
that's the other really good movie. There's some FN 91 sucked. That was
Yeah.
not good.
Or Michael has no interest.
I
in
know,
this
Michael.
at all.
I know.
I was zoned
Did you-
out a long time ago.
We might as well
Did
be
you-
talking about Star Trek. Like, blah, 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 blah.
Did you watch anything other than Barbie, Michael?
I watched the 2 Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. After watching all the Rush Hours, kind
Was-
of continue the old buddy cop movies.
Was that Littlefinger?
It was Littlefinger,
Okay.
and also the child in the second movie that steals the little Emperor's gem from the bad guys and runs off. Aaron Taylor Johnson, as
Really?
probably
Kick ass himself.
maybe 9 years old, if that. I was like, because I was looking to see, because like pretty sure it's Littlefinger, and I was scrolling through, and I was like, who the heck is? I was like, there's no way that's him. Yeah, doesn't look anything like him, doesn't sound like him, but it's him. Still good movies. Dated, not dated in the sense of like they are what they are, but like they're not as good looking at them now. Like the first one especially has a pretty slow middle that I'm like, okay, we need to go into some weird scenes. Like the second one has a pillow fighting scene. Very, very strange. Didn't remember that. But still fun movies. Still love watching it. Although I will say they have the best, because I missed it when they did this back when we had movies come out like this where they would have the bloopers in the credits.
Oh yeah.
Shanghai Noon and Nights have the best blooper credits ever. Like I'm just literally crying laughing by the end. It hits the end of them. Like even they're better than Rush Hours. I love their blooper credits.
They should have had that for Oppenheimer.
Makes sense. They should have had it for Barbie. That would have been funny, but
Yeah, he took my almond.
Oh, Cillian Murphy.
oh, you.
Dude, one of my
Oh.
favorite bloopers from Rush Hour is the one where Jackie Chan's going like up the wall, but he like misses the third one and he goes, ah! And he just goes out of camera.
There's so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, please just stop.
Be careful.
You're gonna die. Or like all the other actors around him are like, he's like, I'm okay. And he's like walking
Dude,
smiling.
when he falls and his like stunt team are like, what?
Yeah, that's it's scary. And then the disappointing one, I watched the first season of After Party on Apple TV. It's like a whodunit murder mystery show where a bunch of characters goes through their storylines. Season 2 started, barely could get to the first episode. It was like Barbie level of jokes that are bad, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna do a few like whatever's, but it just kept going. I was like, this is the dumbest. So yeah, very sad about that.
I did start Only Murders in the Building season 2. So and I like
Wonderful.
it so far.
Yeah.
I'm only like on the second, no, I'm on the third episode.
We're only
It's
like
good.
2 weeks away from season 3. Can't wait.
Well, maybe I can get it done by then.
But yeah, that's about it. Just still watching Always Sunny. Love that show.
I just watched Confess Fletch,
What?
which is based on or is I guess a sequel to the Fletch movies. I really like Fletch #1, Chevy Chase legend.
Chevy Chase?
Yeah. Fletch #2 is terrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. And then this one is it's really weird seeing John Hamm try to be Chevy Chase. So
Is this like a recent movie?
yeah, it came out last year, I think.
I have not heard anything about
Fair
it.
enough.
Or maybe this year. Yeah. It's not very good. didn't really enjoy it. And then I finished Picard season 3. Dang, man, dang.
Pretty good.
I mean, at the end, you can't help but being all smiles, man. It's just like.
Wait, repeat what you said. Repeat what you just said for Jared.
So I finished. Okay, Jared, I finished Picard season 3. At the end, you can't help just being just giant smiles. Especially the scene. You guys want me to spoil it?
Worf does take a barrel, but he survives.
Worf gets how do you say this? He gets surprised by a tribble. So that was pretty funny.
Cleons do not like triples.
But this is just next generation nostalgia fan bait, and it works. It totally works. If you're a fan of Next Generation, they throw in stuff in there that you can't help but smile. Even stuff from Deep Space Nine, stuff from Voyager. There's a scene where they go to this like ship museum and it shows like all the old ships. I gotta say, Voyager's ugly. I've never liked Voyager.
It wasn't meant to be pretty. It was a battle vessel.
It's ugly. I don't. I mean, they showed Defiant. I was like more into Defiant than
Defiant's cool, man.
But man, if you don't want to hear spoilers, cover your ears for 2 seconds. But
I've already heard like all of them because of Red Letter Media.
Yeah, you can't help. But there's the end of like the penultimate episode. The Next Generation crew gets on the Enterprise D, and it's just amazing, man. Because it's the whole crew, and they're there.
Well, you can't fake that chemistry. So I mean, really,
yeah, it's just so great.
Can't teach it.
Can't teach it.
The bad guy was kind of disappointing because it's a bad guy you would expect. I was really. No, I was really hoping they would go with like Gold Dukat.
That'd be
like
cool.
I said, like I said, there's Deep Space Nine stuff in it, so it's kind of cool to see Next Generation crew go up against Deep Space Nine villains.
That Ferengi character I hate.
Yeah,
Quark.
Yeah.
Well, you would like a scene in this because Worf decapitates a Ferengi.
Awesome.
The only things I didn't like, I don't like cussing in Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's just out of place.
Effing Klingons.
It doesn't fit like at all.
But it kind of goes away at the second half of the story. I like the new bridge crew they introduced at the crew of the Titan is actually really cool. But and 7 of 9's there. She's kind of the commander of it, and she fits in with the cast pretty good. But I don't like how they kind of push one character off to make her captain. Because the captain of Titan's like really cool, and everyone wants to see him like be a captain, but they kind of don't allow that at the end of the season. So that's kind of sad. But man, if you want to see some cameos, there's some cameos you wouldn't expect.
Bob?
No. Hardcore. Just think hardcore Next Generation cameos.
Didn't Moriarty show up?
Moriarty showed up.
What?
He's like he protects.
Yes, Michael V. Moriarty. I'm just saying.
He protects he's like the security for this black site.
Was it the same actor?
Yes, because he's ancient looking.
I'm about to say it. Isn't he dead?
Ensign Rowe comes back. Tuvok is there.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Commander Shelby, if you remember Commander Shelby, who takes over the Enterprise for 2 episodes.
It's a terrible person.
Yeah. Well, you would like what happens.
So, oh my
god. Who else is there? There's Changelings from Deep Space Nine. Sadly, Odo's not there because his actor passed away. They do show a picture of Odo, though. Who else is there? Spot Spot.
I was gonna say
The cat?
Yeah.
Data's cat.
Data's cat. Lore's there. Lore comes back.
That's true. Well, he never got destroyed. He just got turned off.
B4 is there. So man, this Chekhov. I think
What?
it's
Walter
Chekhov
Coing?
his voice is in it. It's actually Chekhov's son, but Chekhov's son is now like the president of the Federation, so you get to hear Chekhov's in there. I'm sorry, Michael. I know I'm boring you.
Well, it's really me and Jared like, what? Huh?
I know.
Is
This is
Michael's
the-
just like,
This is the Star Trek and
the
Gundam.
Barbie.
Gundam. I don't know why I wanted to say Guardians Gundam
Guardians.
podcast.
Is the captain of Deep Space Nine in it? Or
No,
what's his name?
sadly.
Cisco?
Cisco. Sadly, he's not there. No one from Deep Space Nine except for Worf.
What? O'Brien's not there?
No, sadly, O'Brien's.
What?
This was a next generation.
But O'Brien's
Fan
next
face.
gen.
That's true. He is. Dang, they should have got him.
Yeah.
The original Enterprise is there. The New Jersey, if you remember what that is in there. Dang. It was just fun. It's just so fun.
They're like the ship shaking quickly. The nostalgia quickly.
What else? It's just I mean the end credits. You gotta watch. This is one of the shows where you gotta watch the end credits because they kind of blend the First Contact theme and then the Next Generation theme
I
at
do
the
love
end.
that theme.
It's really good.
The first contact soundtrack is really good.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
it'll just give you the feels. You the man cries, if you will, if you grow up with this. So
What are the God, what are they called? Darmok. I forgot the alien race. What are they called? Those guys, are they in it?
I don't think so. There's a lot of stuff I didn't see in the museum they go into. Like I said, they show the Tribble. Someone showed that says they show Kirk's body, which I didn't catch, but they say Kirk's in there somewhere.
Under that rebel?
So they mentioned that Geordi runs the museum, and he actually recovered the saucer section from that planet, and he like rebuilt the whole thing back up, and it looks cool.
Galaxy class starship by
It-
himself. Damn it! I knew he could do it.
It looks really cool because because the whole series it's kind of dark on like the newer ships, like on Discovery era, it's all dark for some reason. But when they get on the D, it's just like bright.
Comforting, warm colors. You're like, oh, I'm home.
And Picard's like, I really miss this carpet.
Yeah, we all do. We all do, sir.
So it's kind of sad because you would have loved to see more Next Generation stories. Sadly, I've seen like new Spock, and they have Spock in this new series. It looks terrible. He's just kind of like a teenager now, and it's bad. It's really bad.
It's all
'Cause
moody.
me and Jonah have been watching the original series. We're in the second season, and it's so good, man. Kirk is so
I don't know,
awesome.
man. I can't take a lot of the original series. I have to watch it in very.
Because when I was younger, Picard was my favorite captain. But going back and watching Kirk, man, Kirk is just such a
Kirk
man.
and Spock together are freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it's really funny. Like I love those episodes. And partly, I mean, I'm biased. I love Leonard Nimoy. He's like one of my heroes. But man, he's funny in that.
Nothing beats them just ragging on Worf, though. Just like, man, what an idiot! But he's all about honor, and barrels are taking him out.
Okay, hot take, Jared, Joseph.
What?
Sorry to leave you out of this, Michael. I'm so sorry. What do you think about that excerpt from that podcast I sent you about that Darmok?
That was hilarious.
I didn't see it.
They're stupid. They're so stupid.
It's
Like-
a good episode, but it is corny.
There are corny parts of it, I get, but my God, that's like one of the best episodes.
One of
And
the
he's like-
best.
He's like, oh, it's crap. I'm just like, I'm gonna go all Camille on him. Like, I'll kill you. Like, oh,
No lie, it is touching, but it is goofy.
So
But I enjoy the episode.
my favorite episode is the time loop episode. And they do play poker.
Of course.
Oh, do they?
Season. They play poker and Worf loses.
Of course, you like the one with Kelsey Grammer in it. Of course, you do.
Yes.
Like, why would I not be surprised?
I just don't like the holodeck episodes. I hate those episodes.
What? You don't like the Moriarty episodes?
I'm not a big
I
fan
hate
of
those and
holodecks.
whatever Picard's character is and
Oh,
his noir. Yeah.
You don't like Barkley?
No. Oh man,
Aw.
he is a degenerate.
Yeah,
space
he's very
degenerate.
awkward.
They do cut away with what he's doing with those holograms. It's like, ooh.
It's like,
Okay.
no. That Geordie episode where he like falls in love.
Falls in love.
That was awkward. Yeah. And then she shows up in real life. It's like,
Oh, that's
ooh.
super awkward. Poor guy too, man. You're just like, man.
Michael,
yeah.
you need to watch TNG, man.
We should
We-
watch it with him.
Oh
we
my
need
god,
to watch something Star Trek related with him.
Dude.
I've seen the new movies. They're real good.
It's not the same.
I mean, I like
Oh,
the first two a
man.
lot. Third one's kind of crap, but man, TNG, man, that's just like that's the gold standard, bro.
That's the
Oh.
best show to watch with people and just like
Just enjoy.
take it
Just
too
enjoy this.
seriously.
Yeah, if you get past the first two seasons, Michael,
Oh, that first season is
Yeah.
rough.
First
it's
season's pretty rough.
pretty bad, and there's 22 episodes. It's like, oh my god, how did this get past this?
Yep. So
They are very focused on sex in that first season.
They are. There's a lot of sex.
there is.
He doesn't care.
I mean, the original series was kind of like that.
Yeah, but this was like a lot of sex. Like Data got laid in the second episode, man.
Oh yeah, he did. She was like,
True.
"Let's go," and he's like, "I don't know how to emote like a robot."
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I watched. Michael will give you the last word. Do you want to say anything?
Got nothing.
We went on tangents. I'm sorry. We went on Gundam and Star Trek. So
Put that hand
this
down,
isn't the
Thomas.
nerdiest episode you will ever see. from
Now,
us.
now I'm going into
Honestly,
going
this is
into
the happiest
Doctor
I've
Who.
been.
You guys
Yeah,
are
we
getting,
gotta
you guys
have
are getting a Doctor Who.
episode.
That's what we'll do. Watch an episode of Doctor Who and then an episode of Star Trek.
I would be down for that. That would be awesome.
That'd be funny.
I'd be so happy.
All right. Any last words, guys?
Live long.
I just
prosper.
love that it was like, oh, at least we're not talking about Star Trek, and then
4 words, Thomas.
All right. So like, subscribe, and notify yourself for some even more good stuff. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.